Squidward has died. We're going to measure and dissect it. During the dissection, we unexpectedly found a mysterious organism inside its body. Squidward is a male giant Pacific octopus. Its third arm on the right side is its hectocotylus. Using this specialized arm, it transfers sperm into the female. The tip of the hectocotylus looks like a small tail. It has no suckers. After weighing and removing excess parts, Squidward weighs about 22 kilograms. Its body length is about 1.6 meters. The maximum distance between its arms is about 2.2 meters. For a giant Pacific octopus, this is not its maximum size. Next, we will dissect it to determine the cause of death. The dissector carefully examines each arm and the exterior to make sure it wasn't caused by external injuries, so the answer must be hidden inside its body. To preserve the integrity of this giant Pacific octopus as much as possible, the dissector carefully separates the visceral mass from the muscle. Then, like turning a pocket inside out, its internal organs are exposed. This also allows us to clearly see the octopus's internal structure. Previously, I had only seen this in diagrams. It said that octopuses have 3 hearts, so where are they located? This pale yellow mass is its gills. Behind the gills, connected to this dark structure, are the branchial hearts. They receive deoxygenated blood from the body and pump it to the gills for gas exchange. Each octopus has a pair of gills and a pair of branchial hearts. In addition to that, octopuses also have a systemic heart. It receives oxygenated blood from the gills and pumps it throughout the body. For a 22-kilogram giant Pacific octopus, its systemic heart is only about the size of a chicken egg. Next, we continue exploring inside its body. We can see that a large portion of its visceral mass is made up of reproductive organs. No wonder octopuses die after reproducing once. They exhaust their entire bodies. Near its head, there are 2 plate-like structures. These are its salivary glands. For example, the salivary glands of the blue-ringed octopus can produce tetrodotoxin. Following the salivary glands, we locate its crop, stomach, and cecum. The crop temporarily stores food. Food then moves from the crop into the stomach. Squidward hasn't eaten for some time, so its stomach should be empty. Sure enough, when we opened Squidward's stomach, we only found some undigested shrimp antennae. The stomach connects to the cecum and intestines. Both the cecum and intestines are also very clean. The octopus's liver and ink sac are connected. After dissection, the liver's color looks a bit unusual. Unfortunately, there is still much we don't understand about the giant Pacific octopus. Even after dissection, we cannot determine the exact cause of death. Finally, we discovered something moving on its kidney. Squidward is dead, but the parasite inside its body is still alive. Upon closer inspection, this parasite has 2 horn-like structures on its head. After checking references, it is likely a type of tapeworm. According to records, this parasite may have lived with Squidward since it was young. We preserved it as a specimen for further study. At this point, the dissection of the giant Pacific octopus Squidward is complete. Perhaps it simply grew old, combined with parasitic infection and other factors, which ultimately led to its death. This is the last time touching its tentacles and suckers. Maybe we will meet again.